From the hidden functions of your own microwave to the real uses of McFlurry spoons, here are some amazing secrets hidden in everyday things. Number 20. Secret Safety Glass. You may have noticed these unusual glass panels on the ceiling around stairwells in certain types of buildings. While initially they seemed like an aesthetic choice, they actually serve a potentially life-saving purpose. In the event of a fire, the sealed glass panes block smoke from rising to the floors above via the stairs. By trapping the smoke on one level, the people above are less likely to suffocate and can escape much easier. Number 19. Zipper Flipper. Have you ever been stuck with a zipper that won't stay all the way up? It's a mild inconvenience that every jeans wearer has faced, but there's an easy fix. Most jeans have a similar type of zipper with a little-known built-in locking mechanism. Instead of leaving the zipper handle in an upward position, make sure you flip the handle downwards. This automatically locks the zipper in place, stopping it from slipping down and making sure you're never left with your pants down in public. Number 18. Stink Pipes. When traveling around your local town, you may have noticed these unusual poles. They look like old lampposts, but with the lamp part missing, which may leave you scratching your head. These headless lampposts are actually called stink pipes or stench poles. Their purpose is to release the air from the sewers below to prevent the buildup of dangerous and explosive gases down below, while also draining out the stink smell. Luckily, they're usually taller than lampposts, so the stink disappears above our head and noses. Number 17. Toilet Stall Gaps. For any visitors to the USA, one of the worst things is discovering how large the gaps in toilet stall doors tend to be. Also, for any who have wondered why this exists, it's because the doors are specifically designed to minimize the level of privacy and comfort experienced by users of the restroom. This is an attempt to get people to do their business and move on as quickly and cleanly as possible. Number 16. Blank pages. You may have noticed while reading a book there are often blank pages at the end, and it seems like an unbelievable waste of paper. But it comes down to the manufacturing process. Books are printed on large sheets that, depending on the size of your sheet, can fit multiple printed pages. As these sheets mostly house pages in multiples of 4, a book with an odd number of pages, or a number of pages that isn't a multiple of 4, can result in space being left over. To save time, publishers simply include the blank pages in their assembly process. Number 15. Pocket Hooks. If you've ever put your cold hands inside your jacket pockets on a winter's day, you may have realized one of these hooks connected to the jacket with elasticized string. While these hooks probably won't work as small-scale grappling hooks, they do serve a useful purpose. They're designed to be attached to your keys or onto any ID passes you may need handy to prevent them from falling out if you remove other items from your jacket pocket. The hook clips easily on and off your keyring and prevents you from ever being locked outside in the cold. Number 14. Hidden Locks. If your home is relatively old, you may have noticed some of these circular notches embedded in the door frames by the handle. These notches are part of an old-fashioned locking mechanism. Pressing one of the buttons will disable the doorknob on one side of the door until a key is used. This was very useful before the simpler button press lock came along. Number 13. Cork Talk. If you've ever bought a wine bottle but had no bottle opener to remove the cork, you've probably asked yourself, why aren't all wine bottles screw cap? Well, the answer varies depending on who you ask, but the main reason cork is still favored despite the existence of screw caps is because it allows wine to breathe. Although its watertight cork allows a tiny amount of air between the wine and the environment. This is what allows corked wines to age into better flavors, something that's almost impossible with screw-top wines. But as supermarket wines are best consumed within 2 or more years of purchase, maybe screw tops really are the way forward for the non-connoisseurs out there. Number 12. Windshield Dots. You've probably noticed those unusual black dots around the border of car windshields, but other than looking kind of weird, what do? Well, the black dots help to block and disperse the glare of sunlight at the edges of the windscreen, essentially giving your automobile partial sunglasses. The dots also serve as a smooth transition from solid black line around the windscreen, which serves a bigger purpose. The black border covers up the adhesive that secures the window in place, while also protecting it from the sun's UV rays. This prevents damage to the adhesive, keeping your windshield firmly in place for longer. Number 11. Golf Ball Brilliance. Have you ever wondered why golf balls have dimple surfaces? While this wasn't always the case, originally golf balls were designed to be round and smooth. But in the 19th century, golfers started noticing that their overused, chipped, dented golf balls actually flew better than their unblemished ones. So people began intentionally creating dimpled golf balls. But why did dimpled golf balls fly better? Well, when a perfectly round, smooth ball flies through the air, it leaves a weight behind it which creates drag, slowing the ball down. Adding dimples creates a thin boundary layer of air that clings to the surface, which causes the air to flow further towards the back of the ball. This reduces the size of the weight and reduces the drag. The dimples also optimize the lift force on the ball, giving it more of an upward motion in its flight, letting it travel further for longer. Number 10. Wine wisdom. At some point, you might have felt ripped off when you noticed the big dent seemingly wasting space in the bottom of your wine bottles. But the unusual feature, known as a punt, serves several important functions. For starters, it flattens the bottom of the bottle, preventing it from toppling easily, while also collecting sediments from the wine, preventing most of them being poured out. But these functions are likely a byproduct of the wine bottle's manufacturing history. Wine bottles used to be fashioned by blowing a bubble of glass and spinning it into shape. Doing this often left a mark at the bottom of the bottle. Number 9. Crosswalk assistance. You may have noticed this well-hidden spinning dial under the buttons at pedestrian crossings. It acts as an indication for when it's safe to cross for people who are both blind and deaf. When it spins, it means the little green man is showing and it's safe to cross. Number 8. Lollipop Lifesaver. I don't know about you, but when I was a kid, I was certain the hole in the end of the lollipop stick was there to turn it into a whistle. Unfortunately, the truth isn't quite so musical. The hole is there so that a little bit of candy can harden inside the hole, securing it in place so it doesn't slide out the stick when it hardens. Number 7. Pen cap precautions. Did you know the hole in pen caps is legally required by law to be there to save lives? That's true. In the event that someone swallows the cap, the hole allows some air to pass through, reducing the severity of the blockage during removal. This isn't the only useful hole on a pen though, as the hole in the side or end of a ballpoint pen is designed to prevent a buildup of air pressure. This vent hole prevents a vacuum forming which would stop ink flowing into the nib. It also prevents the pen from exploding during a change of air pressure, like on airplanes. Number 6. Highway hints. It may surprise you to learn that there's some clever logic behind American road numbers. For example, even-numbered roads tend to run east and west. Odd-numbered roads tend to run north and south. Highways with 3 numbers tend to be roads that circumnavigate cities instead of going right through them. For example, I-294 goes around Chicago, skirting right around the edges of the city. This all comes in super handy if you need to skip those busy city roads on your next cross-country trip. Number 5. Chip bag circles. While enjoying some chips, you've probably noticed these mysterious colored dots along the back of the bag. They're actually there to add a dash of color to the bag, but not for your entertainment. The dots serve as a quick way for manufacturers to check the quality of colors their printers are producing. If the colored dots aren't right, it's back to the assembly line for a new ink job. Number 4. McFlurry spoons. Admit it, at least once you've tried to use a McFlurry spoon as a straw. I know I certainly have, but despite their straw-like appearance, they have a totally different function. They're actually just elaborate stirrers. When your McFlurry is being made, all the ice cream and additional components, like chocolate sprinkles and syrups, are poured in one after the other. To make sure the ingredients are distributed throughout the whole McFlurry, the server will shove the spoon into the middle and hook the spoon up to a specialized machine. Once clipped in place with that hook at the tip of the spoon, the machine stirs the McFlurry, and soon it's ready to be served. Bon appetit! Number 3. Elevator door holes. Though it looks like a peephole, this hole in an elevator door isn't there to spy on whoever's in the elevator. These tiny holes you may have spotted on your travels are in fact keyholes. They're built into elevator doors so they can be opened whether the elevator is on that floor or not. This allows quick access to the elevator shaft during emergencies, so in this case, what looks like a bullet hole is actually there to save lives. Number 2. Pen fins. If you've ever bought a pen slightly above the quality of a standard ballpoint, it may have featured these strange fins inside. Far from simply a visual choice, these fins serve an important purpose. As ink travels towards the head of the pen, it pulls in each of the fins. This means that more ink is always available instantly for the user. Plus, in the instance the warmth of your hand causes the air and the pen to expand, the ink is sent into the fins instead of being forced out all over your page or hands. Fountain pens usually feature a similar mechanism too. It's a surprisingly sophisticated design that may have saved you from an ink mess. Number 1. Microwave Silent Mode. Desperate to enjoy a late-night snack without waking the whole house with your microwaves beeping? Say no more. You may not realize, but most microwaves with digital displays have silent modes typically activated by a single button. On many machines, all you'll need to do is hold down the number 1 button for a couple of seconds. Once you've held down your machine's specific button for long enough, all those loud, annoying beeps should be deactivated. Enjoy your late-night snack. Did you learn anything new about everyday items in this video? Give this video a like and share it with a friend. Thanks for watching.